Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Last weekend I signed up to the Retro GT Championship organised by Delta Online Racing. I decided to do this, as most of you already know, I spent 6 weeks commentating, or casting, whatever you like to call it, Online Racing League's Maserati Championship with my new BFF TPR Zermatt on YMTV, and it left me itching to get some racing myself. Today's race is at Spa-Francorchamps, possibly my favourite racing circuit on Forza Motorsport. Myself and JSR co-founder Craviator signed up for this last minute in the Mazda RX-7 as bumper cam bros against plenty of teams. The work is cut out for me, it seems. Close times in qualifying, so we're in for a treat. We're just coming into the lap 1 now, had to do one warm-up lap, so the main thing right here is just concentrating on staying in contact with the people up ahead, such as Nismo as we come through Redelian up to our Rouge. Very tricky corner here, very easy to get wrong. No overtakes after turn 1, so it's just about keeping a steady line. Plenty of action going on between Nismo and Fox Gaming up ahead. Braking just before that curb mark on the left hand side, and I've literally been able to slash that 100-foot gap down to nothing. So I'm going to feather the throttle and then straight line the exits. This car is very twitchy due to the amount of torque. Easy on the amount of distance I have. I'm going to go for a double apex, but what I notice is as I come back to return the apex, Warwick has stuck his nose in and he's giving me some bumps. But, you know, not going to get angry about it. Just let him go ahead so I can follow his lines, you know, get nice and relaxed, get into the rhythm, and then I'll focus on a plan of attack later on in the race. So coming around Pouhon here, incredibly long turn, very deceiving, a bit like Redelian at Eau Rouge. So I just absolutely love the sound of this car, it's worth appreciating for a moment. I see Warwick here, I'm not quite sure where his line is, and it's throwing me off. And also noticed that we've got VPR Muttley, who is in a Bluebird right behind, and that thing is an absolute rocket, both out of corners and on long straights. So at the moment, feathering the corner, staying in the power band in 3rd gear, and as you can see, it's actually giving me an edge on Warwick right now. Tricky thing is, can I hold it around the outside? Got very fast left-hander here, so I'm just gonna let off the throttle a little bit, give him some space. He runs me a little bit wide, that's fine. Important thing is, I've got the inside line as we come into the final chicane, so I'm just going to wrap it around, give him space there, and then accelerate as soon as I can. Skip a little bit over the curb, so that's cut my exit speed quite a bit. But VPR Muttley's got some business of his own right there with Aston Ash and plenty of others right behind him. So as long as I hug the inside as I do, focus on the exit. Now Warwick has got a really good run on me, so you know, not looking too good right now. I started in 10th position, already down to 11th, but you know, this is only lap 3 of 11. Anything can happen. So main thing I'm wanting right now is consistency. I don't need to be banging out the fastest laps. I know people are going to be making mistakes up and down the field, so just going to focus on this. Brake again. Nice lot of coasting through this S-bend. And we're just going to jump ahead quite a few seconds because, you know, it's just not a lot of action. I keep my distance with Warwick, as you can tell. As we come around Pouhon, though, I do slash it down quite a bit because he's run wide. And as we come to braking, I just take it really easy on the brakes. I brake no more than I need to. I'll let the car coast quite a bit. I always feel comfortable with coasting cars. And this Mazda, I worked on the tune myself, which is something that I rarely ever do, and this is the first time I've actually ever rid my own tune for a league, so hoping that it plays out. The important thing that I knew I had to get down was the gearing, because with this RX-7 you need to make sure that every time you're in the gears you're at least over 6,000 RPM, ideally between 7 to 8,000. That's where the power band is at its best. Coming down, here we come to Eau Rouge, lift off just a little bit, and Warwick goes really wide up the hill. So I'm just going to hold my line and go past him and watch that distance just climb and climb and climb. I think by the end of here, we're going to come to possibly around 110. And Warwick's going to have to deal with Muttley in that Bluebird. So main thing for me is just hold decent lines here, ride a lot of the curb. That's clean on Forza, so I come here, Run a little bit wide, but that's fine. Just straight line the exit. 2 temps up on my previous lap, so that's already good. I want to focus on getting fast times. Always have to let up on this left-hander. Very difficult turn. If you come in too soon, then you touch the grass and you run the risk of spinning out. But as we come into this chicane, we can see a bunch of cars napped up together. Nismo, and I try and get through, but it doesn't quite work out. I was expecting Nismo to actually go further to the right-hand side. I didn't anticipate he would be where he was. So anyhow, I'm going to try and tuck the inside, but I notice Warwick goes for just craziest dive. Like I'm really not too sure what he was thinking right there. Maybe he was a bit too excited at the thought of jumping positions, but that set Nismo and myself back plenty, at least like 200 feet now. We can see that then cars up ahead, I was actually ahead of them. Aston Ash, and I think that might be the GTR Spearman up ahead, but we'll find out. Yes, it is GTR Spearman. So lap 6, jumps ahead. See, it's mainly just about me catching up, but I catch my wheels on the outside grass, so that allows Nismo to get on the inside line. Then I'm not going to fight with him here. I'm going to let off, give him a little bit of space just to carry Pure, and I don't want to put him under so much pressure that he makes a mistake and then I drive right into the back of him. You know, I feel confident that in that Bluebird he's probably got much better pace than me, so I'm going to go just mess up my braking quite a bit, and I had to use a bit of evasive action there. So thankfully I didn't make contact with Nismo. I probably made him quite a bit nervous there, but that's cost me a lot of time. I checked the telemetry just to make sure that I haven't damaged the car, especially on transmission. But cut ahead, lap 7. Nismo is getting caught up with Spearman, and I want to capitalise on this. They're side by side. That's costing them valuable temps, and what it allows me to do is focus on catching up to them. So here we go. Braking, I'm keeping it in 3rd gear. Go for a double apex. As soon as I can, just go down on the accelerator. Let TCS do its work. Here, try and cut a lot of the inside curb because that is Forza clean. You want to get the inside wheels just about on the grass, and then you let off the steering completely. Whenever you're touching grass, you need to let off, because that change in traction between the left-hand side and right-hand side wheels will do the steering for you. So got Spearman right ahead of me, and you'll notice that my visibility is a little bit impaired with bonnet cam. You know, Craviator always has to deal with this, and I used to knock him for it, but since coming back to Forza 7, it's the type of thing that I'm really into now, and it's an interesting challenge. I think as a racer, it really tests your ability to anticipate stuff in a way that you can see beyond what's just a car blocking half of your screen. You see Spearman here, I think I'm catching the slightest bit of draft, so we're starting to work down that distance. I want to focus on just letting up early, taking the curb. He took it a little bit wide, and that's allowed me to run alongside him. What I want to do now is brake, and then just get in front of him, force him to brake more than me, and that allows me to get right up in front. So we're up to 11th place now, so you know it's not all good. It's not all good. Like, I started in 10th, lost a lot of positions, but it doesn't mean it's over either. Like Spearman, I don't know how long he's been in GTR. I've known the GTR boys for a long time, but I don't know how long Spearman has been in the team. But I like to assume that if he was in A lobby, he's quick, so I can't sleep on him. Main focus right now is just working up Eau Rouge. You notice that I try my best not to touch the brakes there. I always try and focus on just coasting the tiniest bit at the crest and then working on acceleration back up the hill. Spearman, like, he's got so much draft on me, I just can't shake him off right now. Main focus is the next few turns. This S-bend I feel particularly confident about, so touch the curb and then come for the inside, touch that grass, let off the steering and straight line it. And as you can see, that brought me an extra like 30 feet gap on Spearman, so I'm hoping just to do the same thing with this double apex. You see, you took a much more conservative line, and then here we come here, cut again, then extend all the way. Make every inch of the track available. Even in a car like this, it's a GT car, but it's just like a super turbocharged muscle car that's got a rotary engine. It's just absolutely nuts. So there's a lot of swivel, the car bounces around a lot, and with sim steering, it's really challenging, but I really love this car. Craviator and I, we both ran it in the Daytona 24 back in January, and we won that event, and I've just loved this car, so any opportunity to ride it again is just worthwhile to me. So, you know, we seem to be making some distance on Spearman. That's good news. I think we're on to a pretty decent lap here, and up ahead we can see Aston Ash. He is fighting with someone. I'm not too sure who it is. It could be Nismo. But we jump ahead to lap 9 now, and Spearman is back on my tail, so I had a shoddy first section, and the main thing I want to do here, I've only got 2 laps left, 3 sorry, I want to catch up to Aston Ash, because the way it works is that basically, oh no, let's notice this, look, Aston Ash, he goes off, then out of nowhere, look, he just pops back, so it was just lag, but that put me off so much that I completely botched my line. And that cost me like a good 3 or 4 attempts. Look, I'm already half a second down. And now Spearman is right on my rear. He's just covering that rear view mirror. So my job is to play the defensive game and just prevent any opportunity for him to make a lunge. It gives me a little bump coming out of that turn. That's fine. All I need to do here is slow the car right down, and I'm just going to hug this curb the entire way. You can't overtake someone around the outside on that turn because it's off camber. So severe like compromise of speed if you try and take the far way around. You know, coming down into Puon, just brake and coast quite a bit. You want to try and meet the outside apex before coming back in. You know, it's a bit touch and go in this car, but we just about make it work. Brake just as we meet that curb down, and you can coast it quite a lot. I seem to just ride a lot of third gear around in this car. Craviator did say that second gear is best because obviously you're higher in the rev limiter, and that means that you're in the power band a lot more. But just because of the fact I'm not that good at tuning, it just seemed more consistent for me to have that setup where I stay in third the whole time. And it seems to be working okay, because with that consistency, I have made space on Spearman, but it's not all over. 1.2 seconds down, it's so slow. We come down here, fast left-hander, brake off. Managed to keep the speed at around 150 around that turn. That's very good. And then we crossed the line in 11th position out of 14. I think we had a couple of disconnects. Meant to be a 16-man grid, but yeah, not the race that we wanted. Craviator done really good. I think he started in third on the grid and then moved up 1 position, so that was nice. But Bowkett, he started on pole and he disconnected, so yeah, that just definitely says a lot about Bowkett's luck recently. He's been disconnecting left, right and centre in any competition he's faced in, so gutted for him. But if we bring it back, the bad thing for me is that by being in 11th position, I don't capitalise on the reverse grid, so it means that for race 2 I start in 11th, whereas if I managed to get up to 10th, I could have started on pole, and that could have made for a very easy win for me. But anywho, so we're coming on to race 2 now, and I just wanted to give a little bit of time in the cockpit view because the sound of this RX-7, the rotary engine, just it's divine to me. But as we cross that start line behind Drunken Lels, incredibly fast guy, must I add. So I'm just going to follow him. If something happens up ahead, I think that's Nismo or Henkicks, they seem to spin around. And then, well, that's obviously been quite a mischief for us. This allowed Spearman to get ahead even though it's meant to be no overtakes at turn 1. So gutting, I've already lost a good 100 feet. Craviator lost out as well. When my tactic really is to follow Craviator, let him do the work for me for overtaking, and I'll capitalise on it. But I come to the S-bend. Spearman got his braking off point, and that's allowed me to crop up right by him, so I'm going to bide my time, and I want to try and take the inside here. And he lets off gentleman's lift because of turn 1 where he overtook me, so respect to Spearman for that. I really like that when people show good racecraft and respect. So, you know, we're into 10th position, made up 1 position, but it wasn't in the way that we wanted. Craviator's far up ahead, so 10 laps. Let's see what we can do on catching up. Do manage to catch up a little bit, but then I nearly just torpedo Craviator at turn 1. So, same as Nismo had, evasive action. But the good news is, Craviator's been so caught up here, then I have been able to make the most of it. A bit of collisions here, Craviator goes into Bobby. Could have been lag that caused that, but all the cars clumped up, and that's played to my benefit ultimately. It means that I'm now up in the pack. I'm at 9th position, got 3 cars right in front of me, and it's not impossible to overtake them. Even Craviator, like, he's far faster than me, just like in every sense of the word. But you know, I'm always a bit of a bulldog when it comes to overtaking. If I see the opportunity, I'll just go for it. But for now, you know, got to play it cool. We skipped ahead halfway in the race. I don't really want to cause myself any trouble, so we're just going to brake at them outside curbs. Look at that, I managed to close all the distance on Craviator, and I think he's been really hesitant because he knows his lag could take out any car at any point, so he's trying not to get close to anyone. And I have to bear that in mind. I don't want to get too close to him, and I say that as we're coming to this right-hander. You see his car flashing, and believe me, when you are racing and you see that in front of you, it's just so distracting to try and hold your line and just focus on what your car is doing as opposed to what the car in front is doing. But we skipped to the end of lap 6. 2 cars up ahead. Bobby and Henkich seem to run really wide. Oh no, it's Sweden Pro, sorry, not Henkich. But anywho, right up on the back of Crav, so I danced a little bit on the curbs there. TCS kicked in, so that's cost me like another 10 feet, but that's fine. You know, there's like 3 positions here. You know, there could be a good race going on. Just give Crav the slightest bump, but that's fine. Look at the difference here. So I'm in 2nd gear, but yet he still gets a pull on me, and that's because he probably went down into 1st gear, so he would have been in the power band coming down the hill. But that's fine with me. I'll be able to use the draft as long as I get R Rouge fine. You see, I'll take it pretty decent. Should just be able to hold on to his draft, so keep on going. We're getting up to 175, nearly 180. I might even tap out at 183, 84. No. Thankfully, my gearing was just on point. I'll go for the craziest lunge. I didn't mean to do it, but effectively my braking was just a little bit too soft. So thankfully, Crav knew what I was doing, and he managed to dance around it. It's cost him like 10 feet from the guys in front, though. So I need to back off, calm down, let Crav do his thing, because Sweden Pro and Bobby are going side by side. And then I've run into the grass again, same mistake as race 1. HJD right behind me, but it's fine. I haven't lost a position. It just means that I've got more work to do. I need to catch back up to Crav and then see if there's any opportunities that come up. So I seem to benefit a lot in this last chicane with the braking. In practice I was struggling a lot, but for some reason in the race, I think having them visual markers of the guys up ahead, subconsciously it just helped me get the braking on point. So come down into the 2nd gear here, get on the throttle as early as I can, let TCS do its job. And look at that, I think Sweden Pro and Aston Ash collided there. I think Forza physics, you know, since this update with their collision system, it's really turned a lot of players off. It's just not working well for people because cars just get stuck together like that, and there's nothing that you can do. But hey, this is racing, and this allowed me to get up into 6th position, so I'll take it. You know, lap 9. I only need to get through 3 more laps, and that'll be a solid position. Halfway up the pack from 11th on lap 1 to 6th. I'll be really happy with that. Hopefully we have no nightmares coming up in the remaining 3 laps. I see Crav, like, he's trying to poke his nose in places on Bobby. Bobby playing a very good defensive game though. He knows to hold the fastest line, because at Spa there's only one good line around the majority of these corners. And as you see, Bobby and Henkix here, they're side by side, and look how much speed is compromised from them. Craviator's right on the back of them, and so am I. I see him by Henkix. I'm going to go on the inside. I want to avoid this. So I'll go around the inside, force Craviator on the outside. He's probably got a better run on me, then that's fine. I'll let him go up ahead, and then we'll take this left and start accelerating. But it seems like Henkix has caught me on the rear quarter panel. I've sim switched. I can't control myself, and I get hit, and what do you know? Absolute travesty. You know, that's my car T-totaled, and you know, if you want to know how to go down from 5th to 12th position in a flash, just get someone to touch your rear panel, and you know, you're ruined. So, but I thought I'll finish the race. Like, it wasn't that stressful. Just have fun, get into the pits, and then just, you know, finish the race off. So, you know, it wasn't what we wanted. But you know, it was good fun to be back racing. and especially in the community leagues like Delta Online Racing. This is my first time with them. I think they're great. Online Racing League, I really enjoy Tourer, so it's really good to be in league racing. That's where you find people with similar pace to you that you can test your mettle against. As you can see, them lap times there, they're all very similar. So despite the accident, I'm really happy, and I hope you enjoyed the video, everyone. Please subscribe, like, comment, let me know what you think, and tune in for the next episode.